Hi guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being a music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Selena, and that's Only You. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now before we get into this track is for the soundtrack to an upcoming Netflix original series called 13 Reasons Why, I believe. So I feel that has to be taken into consideration because it's a track with a goal behind it, and it might change when it's put into context. Also bear in mind that this is a cover of an immensely popular track by Yazoo all the way back in the 70s, I think it was, and made even more popular by the fantastic rendition from Flying Pickets a little while later. So shall we see what I thought of this brand new track? I like to call tracks like this 50 Shades of Grey core because it sounds like it should be on the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack, and it usually involves taking a sappy track and throwing in industrial elements, making it really moody and very serious. Now I don't think this track was bad though, and not nearly as bad as your usual 50 Shades of Grey core track, and I actually loved what they did with the instrumentals, and they are some of the most dynamic sounding industrial elements I've heard thus far this year. But Selena's voice just cannot carry this track, I'm afraid. She sounds so dwarfed in this track and weak here as well, which might symbolise perhaps a fragility or a vulnerability about her, but for me she just didn't carry the tune. She just sounded disinterested. She portrayed no real personality here, and for what is a very emotional track and created a great basis by the instrumental, she really didn't show much emotion on this track at all. It's a bit disappointing really, because there is a good basis here for a really good track, and I just think Selena was not the right artist for this track. Production wise, I actually think the producer has done a fairly decent job here. The dark instrumentals and mallets sound fantastic on this track, really ringing out and producing huge transitions and sweet patterns that worked really well. I also thought each area of the stereo field was well covered, which is remarkable really, since we didn't get much in terms of a natural bass or even like synth layers to spot up little holes in the stereo field. It created a real atmosphere behind it, which was, like I said, gloomy and serious and kind of entrancing, I guess. I even thought that the vocals were mixed fairly well, and Selena sounded fairly organic and natural, and I feel her voice was pretty much untampered with on this track, but she did need to be a little bit louder in this mix, as I think she was dynamically very quiet and the softest part of this track and the weakest and the most background worthy of all the elements here. So I think she could have been turned up and brought into the foreground just a little bit more. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I like what they were trying to do here in trying to turn an original track a little bit more gloomy and not in the stereotypical way of just making it acoustic and melancholy. If you want to see how much I hate those sort of tracks, then just check out my video I made here on the YouTube channel or the article on StringBuzz. It had some more beef to it in this track, I felt, and I think it worked really well as the complete opposite to the Flying Pickets version, which is a cappella. So you have that very soft and subtle version, and then this one which is quite harsh and gloomy and destructive, but it needed a much bigger vocal performance to capitalize on that. I'm not asking for anyone to blow my socks off here or wail at me throughout the entire track, because I don't think that would have fitted the subtlety of this track, but Selena sounds completely warlike here. You needed someone with a more sophisticated and unique voice. You don't believe anything she says on this track, and her vocal performance sounds really subdued throughout the entirety of this track, with no exciting juxtapositions of particular notes or dramatization on particular developments in this track. And I think if you took a singer with a more dramatic voice who could dramatize the notes a little more expertly and make you believe what they say a little bit more, the track could have been a real scene stealer. I can't really comment on the lyrics here, as they remain completely unchanged in this track from the original, and if you didn't already know, I actually like the original's lyrics, so I guess that's a plus side as well. So all in all, the track could have done with a better singer, but I won't let that hamstring the score too much, and I gave it a G rating of 6 out of 10, which is above average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.